Assalamu alaikum guys, I am your host मोहम्मद वजीउद्दीन and you are watching फुटबॉल थंडर। आज आपके लिए एक स्पेशल एपिसोड लेके आया हूँ। जैसे आपको पता है कि यूसीएल फाइनल अब बहुत करीब है होने लगा है, जिसमें फ़ाइनल में लिवरपूल और टॉटनहम का मैच होने वाला है। तो आज मेरे साथ जो इस वक्त लाइन पे मौजूद हैं वो हैं मिस्टर शमसुल हसन, जो कि पिछले 10 से 12 साल या इससे भी ज़्यादा अरसे से लिवरपूल के शदाई हैं। तो आज उनको मैंने लाइन पे लिया बिकॉज लिवरपूल फाइनल में था, तो आई थॉट इट्स अ मस्ट कि मैं उनको लाइन पे लूँ और उनके साथ हम लोग इस पूरी एपिसोड को डिस्कस करें और रिकॉर्ड करें। तो वेलकम मिस्टर शमसुल हसन टू फुटबॉल थंडर। क्या हाल चाल है?
I'm good. Thank you, Mr. Wajiuddin, for one wonderful comment and one wonderful introduction of me as a Liverpool fan. Yes, I'm a Liverpool fan since last 10 to 15 years.
Oh,
I'm a fan of Liverpool. And we are doing this video for the Liverpool and Tottenham. Both the teams, they have reached the final of the most awaited cup in the
yeah,
Europe, which is the European Champions League. So,
exactly.
of course, it's the game of champions. Football is the game of champions. And
Yeah,
we are doing this video both the teams for the road to Madrid. So,
yeah.
starting with the Liverpool's road to
Yeah.
Madrid, it was
I will
very
just take
much.
you quickly to the group stage of Champions League. The group stage of Liverpool, I would like you to have some comments on group stage.
Yeah, sure. Uh, During their group stage, they finished as a second, and the first was Paris Saint Germain.
Yeah,
They second by 9 points, and they were trailing from Paris Saint Germain. Napoli was the third, and they were actually they lost three straight group stages matches, but as we say, Anfield is the fortress for Liverpool. When Napoli came for the second leg of their first stage
yeah.
matches, they beat Napoli, and from there on, they gained the momentum and never looked back. So that's how they finished the second. They marginally, finished second because Napoli was also was third, but with the same points as Liverpool. So they finished second and qualified for the second round.
So that was on based of the goal difference because you
That
said
was
that their points were same, right?
they marginally were ahead of the Napoli.
Oh,
And
that's it. So like this stuff, this group was that they had to make decision not on the points but on the goal difference.
yeah, the goal difference.
Uh,
So during the Premier League, they were doing well. They actually did very well this year in the Premier League. So the momentum was there.
okay.
But Champion Leagues matches are different from their local leagues matches. They're
Yeah, the
very
more
tough.
crowd, the environment, and
Yeah,
the pressure on the players, everything counts. Yeah.
uh, exactly. So, should I proceed to their second round, or you would be discussing the Tottenham's
Yeah, of
first
course,
round?
I would take in parallel both the teams. So we will just quickly discuss about Tottenham as well, as they had another tough group in the form of Barcelona and then Internazionale and PSV they were facing in the group stage, and they also finished second just like Liverpool. They didn't win the group stage, and that's quite strange that none of the group winners are in the UCL final. So
Both sets
there's
teams are
nothing to be
the final.
cheering about winning that group stage of UCL. So that's how competitive this competition is. So well, from there, Barcelona and Tottenham were the selected teams for the round of 16. So coming to round of 16, both of the teams they got German teams against them. Top two German teams, Bayern Munich and Dortmund. और बायर्न जो है वो आई लिवरपूल के हिस्से में और डॉर्टमंड टॉटनहम के हिस्से में. तो दैट वाज क्वाइट कम्पिटिटिव दोनों के लिए. So what were you expecting or what was your feelings when you got to know that बायर्न म्यूनिच के साथ राउंड ऑफ 16 में लिवरपूल खेलने जा रही है, जो कि उस टाइम इतने फॉर्म में थी.
Well, Bayern Munich is one mighty team of the Europe, and you know that Jurgen Klopp, he also belongs from Germany, and
Yeah,
he has the experience of playing Bayern Munich several times when he was leading, when he was coaching, when he was the manager of Borussia Dortmund. So
exactly.
he was carrying that experience with him. It wasn't surprise for us because last year we beat some good teams in the Champions League, but it was a tough call. It was a very tough call facing Bayern Munich in the round of 16, and I shouldn't be saying it was scary for Liverpool because Liverpool is these days in a very superb form, and it's a habit for them
Yeah.
to win from the great teams. Later we'll be discussing the Barcelona, but now we are just discussing the Bayern Munich
Yeah,
when they faced Bayern Munich in the round of 16. So
exactly.
it was a great match. In the first in the first leg they faced Bayern Munich, which was in the Anfield. Match was played in the Anfield, and it was
Yeah.
goalless. It was a
And it was
goalless draw.
so strange at some time, and it was so amazing as well that Bayern Munich did not concede a single goal at Anfield, where Liverpool are on their best of forms as always. So that was
It,
quite
it,
strange when the final result was 0-0 for both the teams. So you
it,
must be
it
feeling so happy that there is no away goal advantage for Bayern Munich.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. There was no advantage for the Bayern Munich, but
Yeah,
at the same time, we lost the advantage because it was home for us. we
yeah,
didn't go, we didn't score a goal, and but again, then we went to for the second leg to the Arena
yeah.
in Germany, and it started with the goal for Liverpool by Mane, who scored on the 26 minutes, and it was one wonderful goal. But later, the advantage was neutralized by own goal by Joel Matip.
Yeah, that was kind of unexpected, you can say, like in a Champions League, an own goal. Oh my God.
Then it was again the Virgil van Dijk, and thankfully to the Virgil van Dijk and of course Mane. Then they scored two goals, which made us again in the driving seat, and we
Yeah,
finally won the match with 3-1. And it was one wonderful game, and we proceeded to the semi-final, which was again
yes,
a very game because Manchester United was facing Barcelona in their second round, and both the teams are, the powerhouses of the Europe, and we were anticipating one out of two
yeah.
we would be facing. So it came out to Barcelona.
Yeah, that was one hell of a tie. Like having the best German team with the best Premier League team at the moment at just round of 16. It was a mismatch, right? Like what I think of this tie was a mismatch. Like at least they should have met at semi-final stage, not so before. What do you think?
Yeah,
Because both of
because
the teams
both the
were
teams
the top teams of their own leagues.
exactly. But it happens in the football, and when it's Champions League, you can expect matches like
Yeah.
that from the schedules and the matches like that in the Champions League. What was at your end? Who was Tottenham facing in the
Oh,
second round?
Tottenham, yeah. Tottenham are facing, just as I said, the other best team of Germany, that is Borussia Dortmund.
Oh yeah.
And you can see the both teams playing style is so fast and attacking, who do not tend to get more possession. Rather, they mostly go on counter attacks and play quick football. So it was quite amazing their match, but at the same time, it was kind of disappointing from the Dortmund side that they were not able to score a single goal in both the ties. The first tie was ended 3-0, for the win for Tottenham, and the other tie Tottenham won again 1-0. While in the first tie, Son, Vertonghen and Lorente, they scored the goals for Tottenham, and in the second phase it was Harry Kane, the main man of Tottenham, who scored the goal for them to ensure that they are going to the next round quarterfinals in the UCL. So for me, it was so amazing at one point, and at the other point, it was kind of disappointing that Tottenham were not able to score a single goal. Because if you can see the other end, Bayern Munich at least scored a single goal in their own home, but Dortmund were nowhere in the competition.
Yeah, but Bayern Munich scored own goal through Joel Matip.
Yeah.
So okay, that's quite interesting from your side. Tottenham had their best chances in the round of 16, and after that, even when they were facing the City, I believe, in their in their quarter final, of course. So now I'll proceed towards the quarterfinal of Liverpool. They were facing FC Porto. Likewise, they faced FC Porto last year in the Champions League.
Yeah.
And in the first leg, we scored 2 goals thanks to Naby Keita and Firmino, who
You know,
wonderful 2 goals.
yeah.
And from there on, we got the momentum, and we were leading with 2 goals when we starting the second leg. I'll be I'll be showing those goals to you as well. See how brilliant they were. Naby Keita
The
scoring.
first leg, the 2-0, you are talking about this, right?
Yeah, yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And the second goal scored by
So,
Firmino was a classic goal as well. And then on the second leg, we scored. Salah scored, Firmino and Van Dijk scored stunning goals, and we finished on aggregate like 6-1.
yeah, exactly. It was huge difference. Like just
Might
I said to you before, like it was a mismatch about Liverpool versus Bayern. Just you can see like maybe if that match came earlier, like in the round of 16, it was more appropriate for the fans so that they could see Bayern Munich at least in the quarterfinals, just for
yes,
something to help Bayern Munich fans.
yes, you can say this, but the point is
But done
that
is done already. We can't do anything. Yeah.
FC Porto is the powerhouse of Portugal, and some great players from
Yeah.
FC Porto have emerged on the
Yeah.
scene of
For Porto also,
Porto.
people were not expecting, like, you can say this tie was one-sided again, but it wasn't that much one-sided, but Liverpool were literally dominating, and they and Porto simply could not do anything against them. So that was kind of a mismatch again, I would say, because
It's
they were Liverpool was scoring, and scoring because they were in so much good form because they had already beaten PSG in their group stage and Napoli and then Bayern Munich in the round of 16. So they were confident enough that they are going to get through this stage as well. So there's that
Liv-
psychological effect that was, I think, that was benefiting Liverpool at this moment.
Liverpool was on the stunning form and
Yeah,
that time, and that's how we did in the Premier League this season's
exactly.
finishing and with 97 points,
Yeah,
which is
exactly.
very
Just 1 point less than Manchester City. And one
yeah.
exciting thing about this round of, sorry, this quarterfinal was that at the other end there was Tottenham versus Manchester City, who were playing for their place in the semi-finals, and it was so thrilling and like amazing football, beautiful football to see and witness for the fans, all cheering for both the teams like Tottenham and Manchester City. It is like a match not to be missed always. And I was hoping the first tie to just get a draw out of it, but Tottenham literally played so well that they kept a clean sheet in the first leg and they won 1-0 from the Pep Guardiola team, which was an achievement for them, I would say, because Pep Guardiola's team is in some stunning form, just like Liverpool all this season with some consistent. And in the second leg, by the Manchester City, they literally showed that they are uh, a big club now with Pep Guardiola. A big club mentality they had. They were there to come back, and they were trying so hard. And this match, the second leg of Tottenham versus City, was so amazing that gave fans so many goosebumps all the time till the 90 minutes. And the final score was not to be believed, but it is a belief, because only if you can see, then you can believe that it was ended 4-3. And even though that Tottenham lost this match, but on aggregate they won the tie and they went on to the semi-finals. While in the 4-3, the scorers were Sterling, who scored a brace, then Silva and Aguero a goal each. And from the other end, there was Son, who scored a brace, and then Llorente, who scored a goal for Tottenham. And that's how they moved on to the semi-finals. So quickly, I would like you to let's move on to the big stage of the UCL, that is semi-final stage, where Liverpool were facing Barcelona and Tottenham were facing Ajax. So let's first discuss Liverpool versus Barcelona.
Well, that was a mighty show because, as I earlier said, Anfield is always a fortress for Liverpool. It turns out to be a safe fortress for us. And when we were coming to Anfield with, losing 3-0 at Barcelona at Camp Nou, where Messi ruthlessly
Yeah,
scored stunning goals against us, and it was expected that they'll dominate us,
yeah,
and they'll further extend their lead to maybe 4-0 or 4-1 or 5-2, something like that.
yeah.
But when we started the game at Anfield in the second leg, just to mention that Saleh and Firmino, they were also not playing; they
How
were
can you
injured.
skip the first leg before? Like it was so amazing for Barcelona fans to see uh, Barcelona at their peak form, like at their home. It was right that they are literally just like Anfield is for Liverpool, is the Camp Nou for Barcelona. So
And they're
they
also
played their
leading
hearts
with their,
so great
yeah,
game, and they literally
great.
dominated Liverpool. Even though Liverpool were playing so well in this game, like after looking to the final score, that is 3-0,
Yeah,
people would say
second,
that Liverpool did not deserve 3-0. Maybe 1-0 would have had the justice for
yeah,
Liverpool because
exactly.
they had more possession, beautiful game, but had their chances as well, but were not able to strike a single goal. So 3-0 was
Actually,
more than that for them, but after all, it is a 3-0, and Barcelona fans were so cheering and were happy to see their team uh, outscoring Liverpool at their home.
yeah, actually, it was a very harsh three-goal defeat at Camp Nou for us. But we played some good football in the second round, and some of the hits by Salah, they went to hit the post, goal post, and there were
Yeah,
some close chances for us in the second half at Camp Nou in Barcelona. But again, the team that scores wins ultimately. So Barca, beat us, and we admit that. But we took the revenge. When I say this, they came to Anfield, and they we were also competing with the City in the Premier League. So there
yeah,
was Jurgen Klopp had to maintain the balance of their team because we were very close in the Premier League, and it was very much, players were facing injuries, like Firmino and Salah, they were not playing, and we were
yeah,
resting some players because we were having a close fight with Manchester City in the Premier League, and we really wanted to win the Premier
yeah.
League. And having lost to Barcelona 3-0, one would thought that there is no chance for Liverpool to win the second
Yeah,
leg and win it that convincingly, that to final, and then to ultimately qualify for the semi-final, but thankfully it happened for us. And from there on, in the 7th minute, Divo Origi, he scored a stunning goal, and I would be showing this to you. He scored one wonderful goal, Divo Origi. You can see this in the pictures, and from there on, we thought that we can do it, and we thought as a fan of Liverpool, as we say, you will
Yeah,
never
and
walk
that was in
alone.
early minutes goal. That was why they literally changed the momentum of the game for Liverpool.
Momentum. And then Gini Wijnaldum scored second goal, and the third goal was scored by one wonderful cross by Roberto Firmino, and that was again scored by Gini Wijnaldum. He was actually there as a substitute. He was substituted in the second round, and that in the third, in the fourth, in the final goal by by the cross of Alexander Arnold, and
That was cheeky. That was cheeky.
which was scored by Divock Origi. It was very cheeky, and it was very prompt, and the
Exactly. And this is the kind of goal that Barcelona fans will never forget, and even no football fans who had watched it live would ever forget this goal, how cheeky it was.
So, what was at your end? Because Ajax facing Tottenham, it was also one great game, I reckon.
Yeah. Well, Tottenham were so good all this tournament so far till this semi-final. But the opponent they faced were Ajax, who were not less than any other team in this tournament. They had already beaten Real Madrid, one of the best clubs, rather the best club of football, and they had beaten them in a comeback. Like they had lost their first leg against Real Madrid, but they came back a strong comeback that was which ruined Real Madrid hope of the season. So it was a much anticipated match that fans were looking forward to, Tottenham versus Ajax, because both teams were so good in their game style, and like Tottenham were also attacking team, and Ajax were, as always in the tournament, they were always going to attack any team, and they were going to play their own game. The only advantage I would give to Tottenham in this tie was their experience, and the advantage Ajax had was their young legs. So it was
Mhm.
a complete great match to be played between the two teams, because Tottenham were playing for quite long, uh, and they were like expecting to be here, and Ajax had fought hard for here. Though both of teams have fought, but here I would give that little advantage to Ajax because they had some quick legs and they were creating amazing chances for their brilliant game style, and their forwards were making 100% of the chances being created. So that's how they won their first leg as 0-1 at their home in Netherlands, Amsterdam. So when the big had scored this goal for the Ajax, and Tottenham were literally nowhere near to Ajax in that game, and Ajax were not giving them any chance to have a strong hit on the goal and score a goal in effective way. So that's how they won with their strong defense. And in the other leg, the second leg of this tie, the semi-final between Tottenham and Ajax, everyone was expecting that maybe we are going to see another comeback, but we did see a comeback, and Tottenham were playing so bad in the first half that everyone was thinking that no, we are not going to see a comeback, rather we are going to see an upset here once again by Ajax, like all the tournament. Like in the first half, it was all Ajax playing. They already scored 2 goals in the first half, and it was already expected that they are going to win this tie. And as you would have known about the news that one of the Tottenham fan, he left the stadium after 45 minutes just as they have lost the game, and he had no hopes. So that's how we fans were watching it. But who knew what their manager had told them in the 15 minutes of the half time that when the Tottenham team came back to the second half, they were totally different Tottenham, who were not just holding and possessing the game. They were not having much possession, rather they were going for the goal. Everyone was focusing on Son and other players, Dele Alli, but no one was focusing on Lucas Moura, I think, who came out of syllabus for Ajax and who scored a brilliant hat-trick in that match. And he was literally some amazing talent to watch, and it was so amazing to see him, like his fighting spirit, his will to win. He was not giving up, and every time he wanted the ball with himself and trying, like just you can see the final goal, the third goal they scored in the last dying minute, like 90 plus 5 was the time when he scored that goal, and the possession was with Dele Alli, and he just came in and took the ball from Dele and scored the goal for Tottenham and took them to the final.
That's
So it was so amazing for Tottenham, and I hope all the Tottenham fans would be so amazed and happy, and they were cheering for that goal. And suddenly, Lucas Moura was the hero for Tottenham to be in the final.
that's
So
great. I'll be
now,
giving
as
good.
Tottenham and Liverpool are in the final, both of the English teams are in this tie.
Actually, it's like Premier League versus Premier League in the
Yeah, it
Champions
really
League.
was Premier League, and it shows the dominance of the Premier League this specific year. Like both of the
Yeah,
Premier League teams are in the final. Like how competitive Premier League has been this year. This final shows you that that this league is one of the best team, even if not the best, but one of the best leagues in the world. So because both of the teams are of Premier League who are in the finals.
exactly. One more thing that show would be showing the dominance of the both of the Premier League teams. You would know that UEFA Europa League final this year was played between Chelsea and Arsenal, and Chelsea
Yeah,
beat 4-1. So that
yeah,
means
and by
the
the time we are talking right now, Chelsea has already won the Europa League, just for sake of fans' information if they have missed.
so that means that Premier League teams are really dominating the scene, and they're really playing some good football, and players are loving it, and fans are also loving it, of course, for the sake of the game and for the game of the football. So as you mentioned that what could be the predictions? Rationally, if I say, Jurgen Klopp has the experience of playing Champions League finals. Like he played one with the Borussia Dortmund when he was manager over there in Germany, and last year he played one against Real Madrid.
Real Madrid, yeah.
Them he won, but that gave him a good edge over Tottenham because Tottenham haven't played Champions League final as yet. No doubt they're playing one
Yeah.
wonderful football. They're playing great football. They have some talent in their young legs. But when I'll be giving more marks to Liverpool on the count that they're having the experience
Yeah.
now because their defenders, Trent Alexander-Arnold and Virgil van Dijk and Andy Robertson, they're experienced now. They'll be playing good football together. Allison is the edge. He's back. He's also having good form. He's in good form and he's been defending very well. And then
Firmino and Salah are
Bijan,
also back in the team.
yeah, Bijan
Yeah.
Lovren as he played the World Cup final from Croatia. He's also in the squad. Then up front there are three great players: Firmino, Salah, and Mane. They're scoring well. Mane also scored 22 goals in the Premier League, leveling with Salah. So both are firing. And of course, the midfield is also good. Naby Keita won't be playing; he's injured. But I think Gini Wijnaldum, Milner, and Shaqiri they may be playing, and Adam Lallana is back, and so they are having good formation. as a team wise, and they're having experience. And as I say, I'm also a fan of Liverpool, so I'll be also giving some marks for that case as well, because I would love Liverpool winning this time. But having said, I don't underestimate Tottenham Hotspur. They're playing good football. They had one great comeback of their journey towards Madrid. Liverpool had their own comeback when they beat Barcelona in the second leg. Both had one wonderful comebacks, so I don't underestimate Tottenham Hotspur. They can win, they can upset, they can beat Liverpool. But Liverpool, I think, is having the edge in the final. So let's see
Yeah,
what see in the final.
exactly.
What is your take?
Well, it is going to be interesting. Tottenham in the final and the way they are in the final. Oh, it's unbelievable, and they are literally going to fight for the title now because they know that they had played 45 best minutes of their football in the semi-finals, second leg, second half. So they are not going to let these 45 minutes go in vain and not getting the trophy. And at the other end, of course, Liverpool is also going to take the trophy, try to take the trophy. It is going to be amazing, mouth-watering, mesmerizing, much anticipated final of Liverpool versus Tottenham. What I see is much attacking game, less defending game, because both of the teams are going to attack one another. And the advantage I would give Liverpool is, just as you said, they had experience of playing big final like Champions League final last year against Real Madrid. But at the same time, Tottenham are not a small team. They had already beaten Real Madrid in the previous year in the Champions League. So they have that experience of playing a big team. So if they are coming to the final, they are meeting a team they have already faced in the Premier League. So they will take some things from there as well. So this is not a kind of competition that can be predicted that easily. But yeah, maybe the chances look like Liverpool may have a bit of edge overall. But who knows that we are again focusing on Son, Dele Alli, and Harry Kane coming back from injury. Who knows, Lucas Moura once again come out of syllabus for Tottenham and take the title for Tottenham. No one knows. But yeah, one big advantage for Tottenham in this final is going to be Harry Kane, who is coming back from injury, and he is going to be fit 100%. He has his rest already, so I will be focusing more on Harry Kane in the final game. So
Mm.
that's how it is going to be played. So we can say anything, but I hope that after some time there will be lineups available. Then we can talk a bit better about the final, because right now we just have predicted lineups, not the real lineups.
So it won't be a surprise for me if Tottenham wins, because their coach, their manager, Mauricio Pochettino, he's a very ambitious guy, and he's been doing one wonderful work with the team, with the guys. They're motivated, and who knows, they can beat Liverpool, and
Yeah,
they're, I think, third or fourth since the last 2 or 3 runs of the Premier League. So they're playing good for football at home as well, and it would be one interesting game, I reckon, and I believe both teams have the capability and guts to make surprises and make good comebacks, as they
yeah.
have already done, showed their battle in the semi-finals. So I also anticipate one thrilling final in the Madrid, and we would see who wins. My prediction for the final is it could be 2-1 in favor of Liverpool.
Oh, that is going to be awesome. We are going to see what happens in the final. So, thank you so much for your time, Mr. Shams. So, guys, if you like this video, like it, comment it, and share with all of your friends. And don't miss our next upcoming episode. Keep watching Football Thunder.